Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Digital Health and Wearables series. Today I have another magnificent guest for you. But before I go ahead, let me ask you to subscribe. Make sure you share this magnificent content with your communities in healthcare and life sciences. And let me acknowledge our partners, our content partner FUJIFILM and our global partner Spirit Digital. But it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Professor Atanas Atanasov is an expert in molecular medicine and digital health at Medical University of Vienna. Atanas, how are you?
Very nice speaking to you, João. It's a great pleasure to be your guest, and I'm really looking forward to our discussion.
Oh, brilliant, fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you do fantastic work on social media and digital health, so I thought we talk about social media for digital health communication. How does that sound?
Fantastic. This is really my favorite topic.
And you have such a big following. You have over 100,000 followers on the Twitter on his own. So congratulations on amazing work.
Thanks a lot, and I must say it was really not easy to reach this point. It took a lot of work, but right now I'm really well positioned in social media with a lot of followers, and I really enjoy this kind of work.
Brilliant. And the first question that I have for you, Atanas, is why is it so important to leverage social media communication for digital health?
Simply because social media becomes now a major source for receiving information in general. And this is particularly relevant among the young people. Really, very big part of the information that the young people receive is through social media posts, not so much through traditional media such as TV, newspapers, radios, and so on. And this, of course, has huge implications for the communication of related to digital health. Another very interesting aspect here is that we should consider that social media networks also represent a kind of digital technology. And it's logical to expect that people that are using social media would be interested from digital technologies, from their development, and so on, in comparison, let's say, to users to more traditional medias like radio or TV. Uh, Another important point to consider is that, particularly because so many young people are using social media as major source of information, it is realistic to expect that the significance of social media in the future will further increase. Because, of course, what the young people are doing today with the generational changes will become more and more relevant in the future. Last but not least, in my opinion, it's very important to leverage social media for communication related to digital health, just in order to provide good quality and science based information in order to counteract the health misinformation that is so prevalent on social media. And by doing that, we can provide important service to the society and make important contribution for the betterment of public health.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for these amazing insights. So, the younger generations, but also you make a very good, establish a very good correlation there. The comparison that those who use social media are interested in digital technologies. So, yeah, and also the tendency is to increase, and for digital health, as you know, now we have patients online, we have the pharma companies, we have information. But you mentioned a very important point about the counteract the misinformation with good information, reliable content. Thank you so much for that. Moving on to the second question, what are the best ways to make the most out of social media? And can you share some strategies here, please?
I'm very glad to do so. Uh, in my opinion, to be successful social media user, it's very important to go beyond simple posting of content, but to focus more on interaction with other users, like reshare content by others, comment, engage in discussions. The name social media actually implies that many users are there in order to socialize and not just to read some content that is posted. And in my opinion, one of the secrets really for using successfully social media is to interact more with others. Another valuable strategy to be successful by using social media can be to focus on using different networks. As you know, there is a lot of big and important social media networks like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and others. And these different networks have different population of users that are using them. And by using different networks, we can reach different segments of the population in general. By doing that, my recommendation would be also to always use the same profile picture and the same profile name on all social media platforms that we are using. In this way, the profile becomes more recognizable, and it will be easier for users that are already connected with you on one social media platform to find you on the others. Another good advice can be to display some regular social media presence. For example, some daily activity. Also, smart use of hashtags. Hashtags that are properly selected can be included in the content that we are posting, and this can help us to reach the audience interested in the specific topic. Uh, An important optimization here is also that we should also think for the optimal number of hashtags that can be contained in one posting. Some social media networks actually discourage the usage of many hashtags in the same posting. And if we have too many hashtags, the effect can be the opposite. For example, on Twitter, if in the same tweet there is too many hashtags, the visibility of the posting is not increased but even decreased. And this is due to the Twitter algorithms that are prioritizing the visibility of the different tweets. And just one last valuable approach that maybe I should mention is that it's a really good idea to attach images or short video clips to postings on social media, because postings that contain images or videos are always have always better visibility in comparison to postings just containing text alone.
Brilliant. Oh, this is fantastic, fantastic advice coming from you, a truly expert in social media. And as you know, I've been in social media for quite some time, and people ask me all the time about what shall I do? How can I increase my followers? I've been even thinking about creating some kind of course on influencer marketing or social media, but just rephrasing what you mentioned the social interaction, interact with people. That's the purpose of social media. You mentioned about regular content and good content, and you mentioned like very valuably using visuals, um, pictures, videos, and also consistent social media presence amongst all the platforms. So good advice. Thank you so much.
I'm really glad to share my experience.
Very valuable. I have the third and last question for you, Atanas. Can you share any personal experiences using social media for digital health and science communication, please?
One approach that I found particularly powerful and particularly useful is the creation of online communities that is parallel to it creation of new social media hashtags. These communities can bring together people that are interested from specific topic, and this hashtag can facilitate the communication between this newly formed online community. When some users attach the specific hashtag to their content, they make it visible to this online community, and they can also, of course, read postings of other users using the same hashtags. Uh, I used very successfully this approach with the hashtag DHPSP. This is abbreviation from the name of Digital Health and Patient Safety Platform. This is open innovation platform that I'm managing, and I have created this hashtag in order to promote the visibility of this platform online. Uh, the community that formed around this hashtag involves scientists, medical professionals, industry representatives, patients, members of the general public, and we really invested a lot of effort in the introduction of this hashtag. And I can say that now it's one of the really well established social media hashtags related to digital health. Something very special is that we even published a scientific paper describing the introduction of this hashtag on Twitter. And this is quite exceptional. There is not so many hashtags, social media hashtags, for which scientific paper have been written. And I would like to use the chance to invite everybody who is posting relevant content related to digital health to give it a try to use this hashtag. In this way, you can make your content visible to the online community that we created. And very likely you will get a lot of repostings, including by me. And this is just one particular example, actually. We utilize the same strategy in several different occasions. And another hashtag from a similar kind that I would like to use is hospitals talk to loved ones. With this hashtag, we aimed to create a new community which will stimulate the discussion about the significance of the communication of hospitals with relatives and friends of hospitalized patients. And here the important aspect is, of course, that when the hospitals talks to these relatives and friends, very often they use digital tools. So this is another example of hashtag that is with high relevance for digital health. And probably this is really my best experience in utilizing social media for digital health related to communication. The creation of specific hashtag, creation of online community related to this hashtag, and then utilize both the community and the hashtag to communicate high quality science based content covering different aspects of digital health.
Brilliant. Atanas, thank you so much for sharing that, your experience, and also something very powerful that works, that is relevant, and brings some of the previous points together: the interaction, the social interaction, the relevance, the content, the everything else. Thank you so much for that. That is so valuable, and I'm also learning a lot with you. So we come to the end of the interview. No more questions, but I finish all my episodes in a peculiar way. It's not really a question as such. Is I call 1 minute of fame, okay? and you can mention anything about your work, the platform, your communities, about personal life, professional achievements, university, foundation, anything that you wish. So over to you, 1 minute of fame to round up.
Well, my big passion is really the communication of good quality science on social media. And I'm really very eager to continue my activity in this area and would be happy to connect with new people interested from good science on social media. So I would just use the chance to uh, invite everybody to whom this sounds interesting to join me on the different social media channels. I'm active on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Everybody is welcome to join me.
Fantastic. Atanas, thank you so much. Before, thank you for your time, for your expertise, for these amazing insights. And before I round up, I'd like to thank you and your magnificent work. Before I round up now, I also will post your social media links here. Connect with Atanas on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm going to post these details in here. And also to acknowledge our partners, the content partner FUJIFILM and Spirit Digital. And see you all next time.